Welcome to Us Watching Us.
What up?
You're supposed to ping pong at the intro.
Oh, what? You didn't tell me that before. I just thought this was a...
This is a series of live streams where we eventually put them on YouTube, so you might be seeing them there. Most people actually see them there. More people see the live streams than see them while they're being live. Or see the YouTube video.
Really?
Oh, yeah, by quite a bit. I mean, a few hundred people watch those, and this will have like 50 or 60 people or something if we're lucky.
Oh.
Yeah, time zones, man, time zones.
Wow.
But so it's a series of live streams, but it's actually more a series of YouTube videos to most people, where we are watching videos that we filmed back in 2009 and 2010, and we are in India at this point because we are on a trip around the world, and this is country 12 or something, and we've worked our way through them chronologically, rewatching all this stuff for the first time. We've never watched it before, so we're watching our own video series. And we are going to be picking up after a week of being stranded in Agra, which is where the Taj Mahal is. We were there a lot longer than we expected. And then we took a train to Varanasi, which is quite an amazing place. And we were only there for like 24 hours or something. And I wish we had got to spend more time there, to be honest. It's just a wild, wild place. So I've been looking forward to seeing this video again since we had filmed it.
Yeah, I actually thought about messaging Antara and telling her to watch tonight, but then I was just like, I don't want to tell someone to watch me ingest their culture, and I might say something fucked up.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Maybe she's already watched it and she's keeping her, keeping her opinions about you.
I had that interview today, and the lady was like, I see your... And I thought she was going to say YouTube channel. I was like, oh man, I'm not ready for that in an interview situation. But she said, you're enthusiastic about your work. It's like, damn right I am, bitch.
Steve, hey, what's up? Thank you for the sub. Here is your squeak.
Bye-bye. Is that good night hello or good night goodbye?
It's probably a good night hello.
Al yelled at you. Don't sabotage me. I like that that lowercase to me is a yell.
All right. So let's get into the India stuff. The one thing that I remember, I don't know if we discussed this or not, but we were on the train on the way there, and a guy with a bone in his nose, it's like a witch doctor with a bone, like a stick or something, like in his nose, stole my seat. You remember this?
Yeah,
like
you
it
don't
rained.
go against that.
Huh?
You don't go against that.
Yeah, I don't. It was crazy. So let's just see what gets said, and I'll fill in blanks if we missed anything. Because sometimes I find that in these videos we weren't very thorough. So we'll see how thorough things get. And I have to make a change with technology. I forgot to switch a plug. I'm going to have to remember to cut all of that out of the YouTube video. We just got through a lot of technical problems, so we'll go ahead and just drop that out.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Okay. So the Indian adventure, we had finished doing all of like Eastern Asia, and we ended up landing in India. And we started off in Delhi, and like I said, we went down to, where is Agra on here? Agra. And this week we will be taking a train ride, like I said, to Varanasi, which is quite a long way. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long distance. And Varanasi sits on the most holy river, I guess, or one of the holy rivers inside of India. And it's a super, super famous river in the country, and it's super, super, super polluted. It's really kind of nuts. So I'm just going to start the videos now that it's taken us over half an hour to get there. And I feel really discombobulated. Is that a word?
No.
Yeah. That's good.
What were you saying earlier? You were talking to me about bagels.
A bagel. Yeah, a bagel. What?
No. You said, Katie, you know that place that sells the bagels?
Are you drunk?
No. And I just looked at you and I was like, what the fuck's a bagel? It's a bagel.
What's the difference? Say it again.
Bagel.
You've got two friends with the same name, and I just avoid saying both of them now because you yell at me every time I say one.
Kai and Kai.
It's the same word.
No, it's not.
Say it again.
Kai?
Kai. They're both Kai.
No. The fuck is a bagel? Bagel.
It's bagel?
Oh.
Now I don't know how to say that word either. I'm going to be like the wholesome donut.
The wholesome donut? Yeah.
All right, guys. Let me know if you got a bonk. Did we bonk?
Bonk.
Bonk. Here we go. Let's get into it.
Shit just went around the world, son.
Bonk around the world.
All right, you may have wondered what the Indian rail system is like for an overnight trip. It's bagels, though.
Screw you guys.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so we do show some of the train.
Trip. So I'm going to give you a glimpse into a non-air conditioned first class sleeper. I'm going to call these little compartments rooms, and on this train there are several of those rooms. There's like 3 down that way and 6 or 7 down that way.
Notice there's liquid on the floor here?
In each room you've got 6 beds. The middle one folds out, and during the day when you're just sitting, everybody sits down on this bottom rack right here. So you'll have 3 people down there and 3 people on this side as well. It's a little cramped, but I mean, it's somewhere to sleep and relax while you're riding. On the opposite side, there are 2 beds. When I made our reservations, I chose to have the 2 side beds so that we didn't have to bother with 3Z hanging out with us or have to sleep in the middle of 2 other people or anything like that. And I thought that was a great idea. We got on the train and we were so happy that we didn't have to deal with that. But then we realized that the light in ours is the only one on the train aside from one other that stays on at all times. So I had to build a fort in my room, in my bed, so that I could at least have some sort of non-sunshine the entire time. Then, do you see this puddle that is on the ground? Eric was in the lower bunk, and the rain just started coming in through the windows. At least it's not piss.
Yeah, everybody said it's piss. Yeah.
Way to close the window.
The window was like, didn't have there was no way to close it. It was just like an open hole on the side of the train.
So him and his stuff got wet, and this puddle seriously goes all the way down there to the end of the train. And people put their stuff underneath the bottom bed. So people's stuff is getting wet and they don't know about it, and that's really shitty. It's really shitty that the windows don't close all the way in general. Like, comfort is important. You should be able to turn off the light, and you should be able to close the window and keep yourself dry. Why would you pay for anything else? But other than that, it's been alright. It's been annoying, and I got 2 hours of sleep on our 13-hour journey. Sometimes I just give up on sleeping.
Okay, yeah, I love this quote. Varanasi is older than history, older than tradition, older than even legend, and it looks twice as old as all of them put together. It's like exactly what this place is like. It's crazy. And I think it's got like an old center, like a center that's like the old town. And then there's like the suburban area that has built up around it that's a little more modern. But I mean, India, even the new stuff feels like it's old. Mm. So this was after me being sick, and I was still kind of like woozy in the head. I was kind of drunk a little bit. Like, I wasn't like drinking drunk, I was sick drunk. So, you know, like if you've been sick for like a week and like you go outside and everything's kind of like, ugh.
It was the same thing after we left and we went to like Kopipi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we were sick on the way there.
Yeah, but you gave me a bunch of like, don't get sick on the boat pills.
Yeah, I got you drunk.
Yeah. So that this was just, and then I had this like long train journey, and like I said, like a witch doctor looking guy with like dreads and like a bone or a stick in his nose, like took my I went to the bathroom and came back, and he was just like in my seat. I think that was that train ride. And it was just like, well, I guess I don't have a seat now. Like, I'm not, what am I going to do? Tell the witch doctor to get the hell out of here? And little did we know there were dead bodies on the train. People were transporting their dead family members into Varanasi to do these cremations. So this is kind of what it looks like here in Varanasi. And it's just a tangle of streets like this. And it's very easy to get lost, and there's cattle everywhere. And this particular cattle, she's leaking. You smell. She's trying to get that cow to move. Cows are really skinny, but some of them are really well fed. That scene is so India. Like, the cow was leaking. It was leaking cow juice, and the look on your face, and the lady was smacking the cow, and like, when it that panned down, it's another cow. This alleyway. Oh my God, India is so crazy, man. So down on the horizon there is the Ganges River, not very far, I mean, like, 50 yards from here, and all this wood is different types of wood that they use for cremations. And when they have a body, they march it through the streets, like on this, we saw this a couple nights ago actually in a different town, but they will march it through the streets on a, it's like a stretcher, a stretcher with a bunch of like fabrics and stuff around it. And then they will bring it down here and they'll dip it in the Ganges, and that's like a holy river for them. And then they will take and they will get these different types of wood and they will put it on the body, and then they will burn the body. And we think that is going on near us. Actually, you can see the smoke, but don't really think it's appropriate to show that. So I was just showing all of the utilities that they have.
So we just got done seeing. It was my first cremation. Was it your first cremation?
And that up close, I think so.
All right. We just went on a walk. We were going towards a ghat which we can't find, and a man came up and told us that there were cremations going on. And we're surrounded by all of this wood. And we had read earlier that these stacks of wood, each different type of wood costs a different amount for the cremation of the family who's cremating someone. So there's different types of wood, bamboo, sandalwood, just tons of different woods around us, and you can see smoke billowing above us. So we look at the guy, and he doesn't look that legit, but we decide to go anyways with him. He takes us up to like this overview, and you can see that there are 6 cremations going on at one time down there, like 6 people next to each other all being cremated at the same time, and that was pretty alarming. Most of them you can't really see any remains of anything. One of them you could actually see the person. I mean, they were wrapped up and stuff, so you can't really see like faces or anything like that, but that's essentially what you are. That's just a human there. So that was kind of an eye-opener. The entire time that we're down there, soot and ash are just coming up, and it's in my hair now apparently, which is...
That's people.
That's dead people. Anyways, the guy told us that for cremations like that, only men are allowed to come because men do not cry, and there's an old story of a woman whose husband died early, and she ended up throwing herself in the fire as well. So women cry and throw themselves in fire, so they cannot come. But I got to go, which was pretty cool. He wanted donations from us, which is a little odd because, you're watching somebody's burial, and he's asking you for a donation to the hospice that helps people who have just come to Varanasi to die. Like, they come here to die and be put into the holy river.
Hey, quick note. I read that if you die in Varanasi, you get released from reincarnation.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. So people are hoping to...
It makes complete sense.
Not having to go through rebirth again. So we ended up giving the guy 200 rupees, which is about $4, and he asked us for a whole lot more, and we realized it was going to be a high-pressure cremation sale. And I just told him that we were saving up for our own burial or whatever.
That's some shit I'd say to somebody. Well, I'm working on my own burial situation right now. This wood is expensive.
He took us up to another platform that had probably 6 or 7 more bodies that were being cremated under bamboo and several other types of wood, and you're on a platform where you can only stand maybe 6 feet away from the cremations, and the heat is so intense. We just instantly started sweating, and that guy's around it all the time. He's just sitting there like it's nothing. We're not standing next to the sun. And it was really hot. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, because I kind of expected it to make me really sad, but it just looks like that's what everybody does, and this makes them happy that they can let their family members depart in this area of all places in the world. Another cool thing that they did was
so I don't remember exactly, but the wood, they use different types of wood for if you have a different
price points.
Yeah, if you can afford better wood, you can use different wood or whatever. That's how it was explained to us anyways. But just to be clear, people are shipping in dead people to have this process done here, and also they're shipping the old people into this city, and the old people just go into these giant, the scariest looking building you've ever seen, towers, and just wait to die so that they get released from reincarnation. This is how this was all explained to us. We're not experts or anything, but that's how I remember. I mean, that's what you remember too, right? Mm-hmm. And the guy asked us if we want to go up into the hospice buildings, and we were like, no, I do not want to go walk through a building full of people waiting to die. Thank you.
Some people say yes to that.
I know. Yeah. No, sir.
I guess if you really thought you were going to go in there and put a smile on someone's face. I don't fucking know.
I left my clown nose at home. Sorry.
I can't imagine how I could ever say yes to that.
Yeah.
Let me just go and stare at you in your last moments.
Waiting to die, as in, I think sick people and also old people. But they just get I hope we show one of these buildings in here. It's a giant. It's like a nightmare. It looks, just from the outside, it looks like a nightmare. The outside of these buildings is just nuts.
Anthony running around a hospice squeaking at chicken.
Cheer up, everyone!
It's almost time.
One of the family members will take a clay pot down to the river, and they'll fill it with water. And once the cremation is done, while the embers are still burning a little bit, they'll stand backwards to the cremation and throw the pot over their heads, and that says, the cremation is finished, you can move on, goodbye. So we saw that as well, which was pretty cool. And those are cremations here in Varanasi, which is pretty famous for that.
In the evenings.
Okay, so also keep in mind these cremations are happening basically in the river, kind of. There's definitely a mixture of deadness and river water and stuff taking place. This is not strictly separated. And this is apparently one of the most polluted waterways in India, I think, which probably puts it high in running for most polluted in the world. And there's factories and stuff upriver that just pour trash into it. And you'll see people drinking out of this river and stuff, and they're bathing in it and stuff. It's just India, man. It's just a wild place.
Varanasi, you can weave your way through the maze of streets and find your way down to the river. And some of the ghats have ceremonies that they are performing, and this is something that happens on a nightly basis. And it's just something for the people who are coming there for religious purposes or for cremations or whatever other reason Hindus go to that area.
I saw a bubble.
The whole experience has got this really strange mystic feeling, and it's real. It's not something that's in a movie or something. You're really seeing this type of stuff. So I don't want to use the word creepy because that's not right, but it definitely is something you would never see in the Western world.
Yeah, and it looks sometimes you go to certain countries and they'll have things like this, and it's a presentation for the tourists. It's not what was happening. Like, this is like legitimate, like, religious stuff's going on, like for the people who are there, and you're allowed to be a viewer of it, but they're not doing it for your benefit at all. Like, that's not what was transpiring.
So this guest house we're staying at is pretty neat. These are Christmas lights type things that are hanging here, and this is a fake plant. And as you can see, it's opened all the way up to the ceiling area, or up under the roof, where you can see an overview of the city, and then all the way down into the first floor. And we're on the third floor, and Katie is going to walk out on this and not fall through, right? Yeah, you're half on it. There you go. It's a little scary because you never know. We are in India.
Every day, 6,000 people go down to the banks of the Ganges to religiously bathe along a 7-kilometer stretch of the river. Along the same area, 30 large sewers are constantly discharging into the air. So we went out on like this river cruise too. It's kind of cool. The Ganges is so polluted at Varanasi that the water is septic. No dissolved oxygen exists. Samples from the river show that the water has 1.5 million fecal coliform bacteria per 100 milliliters of water. In water that is safe for bathing, this figure should be less than 500.
I was like, there's too many numbers on the screen. Hold on, let me get the important. The important numbers are significant. That was our homeboy.
Yeah.
This morning we've gotten up very early to go on a tour of the Ganges River and ride a boat. And the tour basically takes you past all the ghats that are along the Ganges. Since this is a spiritual river, it's...
A ghat is like a shrine or something like that's on the water
It's a
or something?
religious
It's
place.
like a religious place, yeah.
covered in spiritual buildings, which really don't look like anything more than regular buildings. They just have the word ghat written on the side of them. And stairs going down to the river for easy access. We're not really sure what ghats are, aside from the few that we've seen that do.
Still haven't figured it out.
Like this one right here, there's large stacks of wood, so we're assuming that they do cremations there, but it's not as busy as the last place that we went yesterday. So this is Varanasi, and this is what it is famous for. Several ghats. People are in front of their ghat of choice, bathing in the water, and from what we've read, some of the nastiest water. That it's just, I don't remember the figures, but there's a lot of stuff in this water that isn't in normal water, and there's a lot less what should be in water, not in this water. So, this is the Ganges, and that is the sunrise, and that is Eric. From our videos from yesterday, this building right here is where we were, and now you're seeing it from the water. That smoke is cremations that there's probably 8 or 9 going on in that little area right there, and that's where the intense heat was, where you can see the smoke coming up. Down by the water they have cremations as well, but it looks like they don't have many going on right now. It does kind of look like the creepiest place in the world. Like this building right here, the guy told us that that's where people are waiting to die.
You see what I mean? Look at that building. It's just like there's people in there waiting to die.
There needs to be a manga about this shit.
In Hindi, ghat means river landing stairs. That makes sense. Oh yeah, that makes sense then for what we were seeing. But I mean, like, look at that. Like, it wasn't like, oh, it's just like a hospice and it's like, we're kind of taking people. It felt like just hell.
In that scary building. And it sounded like he was going to take us there, and we were like, we don't really want to go see the people that are waiting to die. That's not our cup of tea. We'll watch them burn, but we're not watching them go, I guess. So that's where we were yesterday. And sorry we can't get any better footage, but respect for the dead. You gotta do it. We found out that from yesterday until next month, since this is the city of Shiva...
Pause. Do you think you would have not videotaped now?
The people being burned?
Yeah. So I'm kind of surprised that we didn't.
That's just such a bizarre... I don't know how to behave in that situation. Probably would still avoid it. It's like families saying goodbye to their loved ones and stuff. That's a bit much.
Yeah, I like that when I ask you these questions, I get a real answer. It's not like, oh, I'm just trying to keep to my haunches of what I said in the video before, or I've changed so much. Like, you actually think about it.
Yeah.
And give a clear answer that I believe.
Even though it's something that's being done publicly, it's still a private moment. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's a bit over the line.
Part of me has just spliced out the families out of my head. A lot of this I don't remember what it looks like at all.
Yeah, I kind of don't either. I
when you mention the families, then I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. I wouldn't whip it out for that. So
whip it out.
I don't
know. Yeah, I think that's a place that I wonder if you could look it up on YouTube and find somebody who has filmed it in a way that isn't shitty.
Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody.
You know what I mean?
Who
has... somebody from inside their community or something that's documented this in a proper way, permission from people and stuff. But man, yeah.
The Shiva festival, where they march the streets with these colorful bars. On the end of each bar is a little bucket, as you can see right here. They fill that with water from the Ganges, and I'm assuming once they get to the Golden Temple, which I can't pronounce in their language, they release that water at the temple, I guess. We haven't seen them at that temple at all.
It's kind of cool. That they're coming down to this important water place, scooping up all the bad water, all the good water, and then taking it someplace else. It's a cool tradition.
Orange is the color of choice.
So we were rolling down the road in this tuk-tuk, and this guy hopped in, and he's a police officer, just randomly.
So this is previously in the video, we were in the center old town part of the area. This is the area that surrounds that center of old Varanasi. And this is what modern Varanasi looks like. This is the new stuff.
So we've got all this really populous stuff going on. Lots and lots of people are here and whatnot. And there was just a 20-year-old guy just standing there urinating in the open.
Okay, we're only doing one more video tonight. So again, this might be a kind of a short one, but we'll do one more video, and we're going to be in another town that I can't pronounce. It's Khajuraho. Let's see if we can find it on the map. And I don't remember at all what this is about. I don't remember.
I'm just gonna wander around till you find it.
No, I'm gonna type it in. KH. I said C. I don't remember how... Oh, now I know. I don't remember how we got here. I don't remember if it was a bus or a train or anything like that, but we would have gone from... Where did Varanasi go?
It's where we go back one click and
it's all the way over there. So we did... That was a long haul.
I need to see like the country, like.
I mean, India's a big place, so we went from there to there. Okay, and this will be a fun episode because now I know what it's about. Put the kitties to bed, everybody.
So on the outside of trains in India, they print out your name if you've done a seat reservation.
Why would my name be written like that?
I don't know.
And these trains are literally like a kilometer or so long. It's just ridiculous.
We got on the train earlier today, and while we were waiting for the train to start going, a boy came up to us, and he had a whole bunch of newspapers in his hand, and he started showing us the one that had his Hindi writing on it, and we can't read that. So then he pulls out the English one, and I just tell him we can't read, period. And
Things I say to people.
teaches you how to speak English and how to speak Hindi.
Kid got your number.
Can't speak that either. Well, I can help you with that, bitch. Oh my god.
You got to the point too with Touts that you were just playing with them.
Oh yes, I was so done.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, super done. And that's not just from India; it's from multiple countries. It just got to the point where I'm like, well, what are we gonna do with this one? So you're coming up here? I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna find out.
Like, he caught me hardcore, and I was like, I still don't want it. And then he goes, picture book? And he pulls out a bunch of printed out pieces of paper that he's put into a booklet of hardcore pornographic material. Like, we've been in Japan for a really long time, and it's all genitals are blurred out of any pornographic stuff there. They're not blurred out here. Well, at least they're not blurred out when you handmade your own porno book. Like 15, so I'm looking at a whole bunch of filth, and I'm looking up at this 15-year-old like, I don't want that, buddy. So today I got offered some pornographic material from a 15-year-old. Lovely.
I don't remember that.
Having a snack.
I completely forgot about this until right now, but yesterday when we were in Varanasi, I saw a woman like on the narrow streets, and she was selling baby cobra snakes out of a big basket she had that had one big one in it. And it was like climbing around, and she had little ones in her hands, and they were like squiggling around in her hand, and it was probably the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I don't remember that either.
We've come to...
So much happened in India that I've forgotten so many things that would normally be very, very like noteworthy. Like that's a noteworthy story. It just is gone out of my mind because it was a constant barrage of things like that.
Khajuraho today, because I read that there are tons of temples that have sexual sculptures in them, and we've hit our first one of the day, and it's already been pretty shocking. Most of these temples were built in the 900s, and it's a little odd to think that back in the day they'd be getting freaky. So I'll give you a peek of what we're looking at, and I'm sure there'll be more to come.
There's a lot of these. Like, to be clear, it's not just like one wall. Like that's somebody's giving the business, man.
They're all giving the business,
There's a lot of business being given.
That hand is creepy.
That's how you give the business.
Detail in this is just ridiculous. This is very...
Ridiculous?
Look how big it is, though. It's a cool looking structure, too. That looks like a baby, though. I don't like that. Keep your childrens out of this.
The whole park is really, really beautiful, actually, and that's out of place in India. It's clean and pornographic.
I wonder if anybody's figured out how many males are portrayed and how many females are portrayed.
This particular temple is about 1,000 years old and has 872 acrobatic sculptures.
I don't even know what's going on there. This would be a good time for the Mario music, though.
Toilets and stuff here. So we're wandering around this really nice park, and this is probably the nicest part of India I've ever been in. And it's a sign for toilet, and you're like, oh boy, a toilet. Look at that scary as hell little shack.
Anisha, thank you for the follow. Thanks for hanging out.
Well, these temples are pretty much the only reason we came to this town, and they were definitely clean and detailed and interesting. And
I think this is the place where the bitch was yelling.
I guess we're gonna try to arrange a way out of here.
Bitch was yelling?
The one that was like, I also don't have money and I should only pay the local price.
Yeah,
I think it was on this day.
Yeah, some foreign tourist that was upset she had to pay an extra like 30 cents to get into this over the locals.
But we have no idea how or where we're gonna go, so that's I guess what we're gonna do with the rest of the afternoon. This specific piece of sculpture is a little bit suggestive. She seems a little embarrassed.
Okay, so let's like think about this for a second. Like, clearly the artist knew that this was taboo because they put somebody behind the horse that was like, you shouldn't be fucking that horse.
They also, this is the only one that we.
This is
we
this is the only horse fucking
hard.
that we saw. Yeah, we were looking for other horse fucking. Yeah, so it was just like, what is happening here?
Are mushrooms safe in India? We're gonna find out. Look at the size of these mushrooms.
They're thick.
Look at the color of this pizza. Looks like it's got hot sauce on it.
It does look like it has hot sauce on it. It's not hot sauce, but here we go.
They look great.
So we're walking down the street here in this town because we're walking over to the bus station, and children here are touts, and this kid was like 15. And they try to get you to go to their school, and then they shake you down for money to give them a tour or give you a tour or whatever, yada, yada, yada. But he said, we told him we were from America, and bus. Okay. And he said that he's like one of those, you adopt a kid in a dirty country kids. He's showing us his clothes.
I remember this.
Yeah, Americans send me this in the mail. So he's like one of those, like, you call and adopt a kid and send them cash and send them like clothes from Goodwill. We've met a recipient of one. India's awesome.
All I can say is that this looks like a good time. It is so hot outside, and we're just walking in the sun, and I'm so jealous of these water buffaloes just chilling.
Nobody's stopping you from getting in, girl.
I want to jump in, but
Do it.
I'm not going to do it like Eric wants me to do it.
So we're in India right now. We were just talking about how crazy that is and how we're on the complete other side of the planet.
Did we like Varanasi? Varanasi was amazing. It's like so incredible there. Yeah, we watched that episode already. But yeah, it's a crazy experience.
This is India. And then Katie has made a friend. The culprit's behind you. Don't let anybody tell you India's a clean place. Where did Katie just go? Oh, joy.
Was this a town where there was like some sort of like bugs that just died overnight, and there was like millions of them on the ground the next morning, or was that a different town? You remember like these like bugs like this, and they're like everywhere at nighttime, and then when you woke up in the morning, the street was just covered in dead bugs.
I remember, but I don't remember if it was here or...
You would not believe how many people in this town are trying to sell us Kama Sutra books. So today is India's Independence Day, but if there were any celebrations, we're in the wrong place because we've asked and there really isn't anything going on. So we've missed out on whatever they do for their Independence Day, but we're kind of in a dinky town and it is what it is, oh well. But there's a bunch of lightning going on and maybe we'll get hit. That could be exciting. So this is our room right now. And the electricity is out, so it's gonna be a little dark. And of course we've made our normal mess. And it's probably about 95 to 100 degrees in the room at the moment. And the bathroom smells really bad, but the room itself is reasonably clean. And let's see if I can find one.
I'm sitting in the hallway.
This little bug. There are millions and millions of them all over this city. Like at night they come out and they flock everywhere. And when you're walking, you're literally just crunching on piles of these bugs. They come out every night and they die. And a few of them get in the room, but it's not nearly as bad as it is out on the streets. It's madness. And there's not a whole lot else.
I don't think they're pill bugs. I'm not sure what they were, but they could fly, right? Is that what
I don't remember. I thought they were bigger for some reason.
Blind Mishaps, by the way. Thank you for the sub.
But this room was $4.26 for the evening. So, I mean, there might be bugs, there might not be power, and it might be 100 degrees, but at least it wasn't expensive.
What? Why are you laughing?
It's funny.
Oh, maybe they're just from that one area in India.
Beats bleed and tables have
I really like this when I shot it. All the motorbikes and stuff driving past this cow as it just like strolls down the middle of the road.
I haven't heard this song in forever.
Yeah, it's really nice. Laura Stevenson?
Yeah.
This cow's sassy, man.
That's cool. Blind Mishaps downloaded it.
Okay, let's look at a couple of pictures from this episode. You ready to watch me struggle?
Every week.
Every week.
It's my highlight.
I got it pretty quick that time.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking these might be out of order because this looks like you're on that boat in the morning.
Mm.
So we might have to deal with them being out of order. I might have mixed that up. What would happen if you went in India with a big cooler full of cow? Probably would upset people. That'd probably be a rude thing to do. Just things in the river. So we said we got up pretty early. I don't remember how early. Did we watch the sunrise, or was it already up a little bit when we got there? Do you remember? I don't remember.
I think it was up a little bit. I don't remember getting out on the water in the dark.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a memory that would be stuck in me a little bit. So just again, like a lot of these buildings are just like these religious structures. The ghats. and just people out doing their thing. I'm not sure how many of these people are like, I don't know how many of these people are like locals, or if they, how many of these people that you would see like just on a regular basis like this are domestic tourism or not. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, because I mean I know there is a lot of like religious domestic tourism, like Indian people that are going to Varanasi for religious purposes, but I don't know if the locals also go down and just like use the river water on a constant basis. I don't know. Most of them are tourists. Okay. This was all shot for, we've filmed all this in 2010, so it's been a really long time, so our memory is a little fuzzy about some of the details. But we were only in Varanasi for like a day. I had gotten sick and it screwed up our schedule. Look at that boat.
I just like the way he's laying.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Was it just him?
I felt like I saw another person in the picture that was wearing something different, but that I don't know if they went out on the ride with us. I felt like it was just the three of us.
I thought so too.
I think I was messing with him, like riffing.
Some of the artwork is cool though. I mean, the place just looks unbelievable. It like looks unreal when you're there. Like, look at that. Like, it just doesn't look, it just doesn't.
I think I remember saying this. It looked like a city that had fallen into the water.
And yeah, some of it does.
And you're seeing the tops of the towers, and people have kind of built on what remains, and in like a certain amount of time, that will fall into the water, and then they'll build up again, and that'll fall into the water, and you've just been watching successions of this falling into the Ganges. I don't know.
Just the place just like feels very ancient. Yeah, it's like something out of a fantasy video game. Yeah, I feel that. And then you have things that are like, it's such a mismatch, hodgepodge of architecture and colors and stuff that chaos is kind of just what creates its entire personality. And it's really long. Like this, it said it was like 7 kilometers. This like section of it, like the riverfront. And all the dudes participating in the festival. I don't know if it was a festival or if it was just like Tuesday or whatever. I'm really not sure, to be honest. I always like this picture. I think, you know me, I just like cows. So, well, look at her. Look at her jowls. She's looking good. It's a good looking cow, man.
About to get spanked.
So we did end up hitting McDonald's, and it's actually like a lot of people are like, oh, Americans eating at McDonald's, but in India it's like completely different, because like what they're talking about in chat, there's not like beef isn't usually on the menu, so all the everything there is done with chicken, I believe, and then there was also the sauces and stuff were completely different.
Yeah, the sauces were different.
Like it's like a completely different restaurant. Yeah, how did your name get spelled? Maybe you just told them verbally.
Maybe I was worried about it. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I guess I could have just told it to
you
them verbally.
You might have just told somebody. My name is Katie.
That makes more sense.
So this is like on the outside of the train. So you just you go walk up to the train. I don't know how you figure out what train car you're in or whatever.
I still don't even remember.
I don't remember what the system was like, but then you just find your name on it. I'm sure it's different now, but this is how it was back in the day. On the printer with the, what's the printer with the
holes.
Dot matrix or something? Is that the right word? Dot matrix printer? I think
have
so.
No idea.
So a dude just came up to me and went and tried to get me to give him money for the on my forehead, and I was just like, wait, what? Like I'm not what? No. Like he's an aggressive.
It's not a good soda.
I don't remember it. Was it thumbs down?
It was thumbs down.
Not sure why I took this picture. Lift for light, the alarm thing. Oh, to stop the train, pull the chain. To stop train, pull chain. Kind of has a rhythm to it. This cool landscape stuff out the window.
Making friends.
Making friends.
Making friends.
Wild, man. Would they say like 800 years old or something like that? I don't know. It's pretty wild. Those don't look real.
That hand is back. It's just creeping me out.
The hand is back. That's how you do business. That's a transaction taking place right there. It's actually kind of fascinating that this is this old on a couple of reasons. Like, first off, like, just the content is sort of not typical for being this old, but we're looking at it through like the lens of like Western 800 years old. And like, we don't really know what the culture was like there. Like, personally, you and I mean, don't know what that was like 800 years ago with conservativeness and like shame and all that stuff. Who knows? Like, we're looking at it through like a lens that raised us, which makes it seem like olden days people didn't do the business. Right? But of course they did. But also, like, this is so it's so well preserved for its age.
Some of it, I wonder if it's just been remade.
Like
the smoothness of that rock right there with all the bodies doesn't look
800 years old.
Yeah.
And like, also like small things like fingers and stuff haven't broken off. But I don't know, maybe it's a type of rock or something. But a lot of times you see statues of this vintage and like the heads are gone off the statues because the necks have broken because it's a weak point because of how narrow it becomes. So this is all in such good condition. Does make me wonder if has it been restored? Is what we're looking at really that old? And if it has been restored, did they decide to restore the horsefucker? You'll find these crevices are on top of many temples interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that. It's a really cool building. Look at it's like on a platform too. It's like you have a substantial structure just to get to where the temple then goes up from. Stonemasons would have been maintaining it over the centuries, like the cathedrals and mission. Okay. I think I remember being enthralled with the dress of the people there at some point too. To this day, I think I remember us talking about how colorful everybody's clothing was at this place. And that, yeah, I think that's why we probably took this picture. Just like, it's just nice to see all that color. And then us, a couple of pink honkies.
Honk. Man, I don't need to pay that 15-year-old boy for his pornography.
He's got to go to his temple.
I just go to this temple. It didn't smell bad. So
It's fossilized. It's 800 years old. I guess it's like we came to the conclusion this must be a condom advertisement. Yeah. You know what's interesting about it though? It's painted. It's like an ad. Did the government put this here, or is it a company that put this here?
I think we did not get to come to a conclusion on that.
But it's just the fact that it's like literally painted on the wall.
Someone might be able to help.
Yeah, somebody might be. Anusha, can you read this and tell, is this like a government-sponsored thing, like a public health thing, or is it an advertisement from a company? UN Family Planning Project? Maybe, yeah. It's like there's some logos.
So they're planning the family with 2 papas and 1 mama? It's a complicated family.
I don't even know what a video request is. Like, do we watch videos? No, not really. It's kind of advertisement by an NGO. Oh, word, got you. Just some cows on the
Cows.
street. Yeah.
Doing some shopping.
It's more business. I don't remember this at all. Must have been like in a hotel maybe or something. I don't know. That's the last photo. Okay,
Love hotel.
Yeah. Ooh. How much are we going to pay? Oh, did you get paid for video requests? Is that how this works? I don't think I would just randomly click a video that somebody that's a first-time chat asks us to watch. That sounds dangerous. That sounds like you can get in trouble.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this week is going to be short, just the way things kind of broke up. Let me look and see. Next week, we'll be actually finishing India, and there'll be 4 videos. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 14 minutes. So next week will be a little bit longer. And then we'll be jumping out of India and we'll be jumping into Dubai in the UAE. So we'll be getting more into like the Middle East and stuff. So, yeah, but we're going to keep this one short tonight. Appreciate everybody hanging out. And we will be back at it next week. Do you have any final things?
Any final things? I'm still surprised that India is still going. Like in the videos.
It's still existing out there?
Well, no, that and that we also have more videos of it. I thought this was the last week of India.
No.
But India is just crazy. It's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So I already thought in my mind, what if I just surprised him and was like, dude, we're going to Varanasi? He would have just been like, all right.
It's going to kill me now. I get sick and I'm so sensitive to food now, man.
Well, and just put you in the building.
I got sick in Korea recently. He said nothing's going to... I guess if you're going to die, Varanasi's the place to do it. I get out of the cycle and everything. How long until the end of the Round the World trip series? It's hard to say, but we still have... Let me think if I could think about this. We have the UAE, Oman, Egypt, Jordan, Israel, and Palestine, and then the trip across the United States. So we'll be doing all of those. And the videos at some point start getting long. I'm not sure when. Maybe it was the America stuff, where I started, like, videos are like 45 minutes or something like that. So at some point that starts to be a thing. So it'll still be a while. And if I'm not here for August, this is going to push itself into like the fall easily.
I didn't think about that.
And then I don't know if we'll keep doing Us Watching Us.
What if I just do it and just have someone other than you here? And I'll be like, you got to do the intro. They just push the button. They're like, so what are we doing? And then I have to explain it.
Then I do want to keep watching eventually, but I don't know if we're going to... I was thinking about taking a break on Us Watching Us for a little while.
You said between Round the World.
Between Round the World and moving to Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see where things land. But this does take me a little bit of time to get everything set up, so it might be nice to just take a break for a little while. We'll find out. But anyway, we're going to take off, guys. Let me see is anybody streaming, doing anything cool that we can do a raid on right now. And Anesha, thank you for hanging out and giving us a little bit of background, by the way. I appreciate it. There was so much there that like we didn't understand. It's
and
nice
if
to get
you're free
insights.
next Tuesday,
definitely
drop in. You can educate us on anything and everything. Died. He went.
You've just started a war.
He's gonna find you in your sleep.